Hello, it is the 1st of April and I thought I'd show you what I've been up to with my seedlings this year, what's new and where we are. For once, I'm having a really good year with seedlings and I have a lot to get through. Hi, I'm Nicola. If we haven't met before, I'm a flower grower from Shropshire in the UK. This channel is about my journey into discovering what flowers work best for drying, how to dry them, and making creations using those flowers. So if that sort of thing interests you, then this channel is for you. Now then, back to the flowers that we have growing now. It is a glorious day and it's quite warm here, so things should be going really well for the flowers. I have the usual culprits. Again, this year I am focusing on dried flowers, so a lot of them are about being good for drying and the minority are about fresh cut flowers. If they are for fresh cut flowers, actually they may be going in the main garden to just add a bit of colour to the borders. So the majority that I have growing all across this bench are for dried flowers. And so far, I'm really pleased with the results. So if I start with what is new, so I have celosia. I got these from Floret Flowers. They are very expensive seeds and actually there's not many growing. These ones, this row here is all that's left of my celosia and even they look abysmal. So I think I maybe have 2 plants, so I might try sowing some more. I think I maybe started them too early and that's the problem. On the plus side, I try Gomphorina every year and normally I get nothing. But this year, I have a good crop of Gomphorina. So there are wins, but as I say, I am really disappointed that the celosia has not done too well. I did sow some last year, so this isn't my first year. However, I got the seeds late, sowed them late, and so nothing really flowered. So I'm taking this as my first year in the hope that I get some flowers this year. The next tray that I have here is a limonium tray. You don't need many statice plants actually to get a good crop of flowers. So I have some pastels, which are blues and purples, and some apricots, and so that's 12 plants, and that is ample, if not too many, for my needs. This one at the end here, a pink pokers, isn't really classed as my first year, but I got no flowers from it last year. So I'm hoping I have done better this year. I certainly have more plants, and I'm hoping I can raise more into full-grown plants and that they will take me through and produce some flowers. Fingers crossed. So that are pink pokers. We have some zinnias on the go there just to cover off what's in those. So lots of beautiful zinnias going really well early. So I'm hoping for a full season of zinnias. The next set of trays are straw flowers. I have gone a bit crazy with straw flowers this year, more than I have ever sown before, but they are the staple of a colourful dried flower collection. So there are lots of different colours and actually doing really well. So I'm pleased with those. The next new varieties that we've got here are, in that row there is Oxeye Daisy, which is a beautiful big daisy-like flower, which will have wonderful seed heads. They're perennials, so I don't necessarily need to have much, but I don't know whether they are grown too well. I mean, if I'm honest, that looks like a tomato. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether they're real seedlings and whether they're something else. Who knows? But that's where we are with them. And along with the cornflower and Chinese lanterns, and what have we got here? Some Dorcas. We have in this row some smoky fennel, and I'm hoping that I can get some lovely yellow flowers from that. But mainly, this is going to go in the main garden to create a lovely, airy, fine, floaty layer within the main borders, which with height, because fennel does grow quite high. So that's my aim with this, and something a bit of colour. Billy buttons. I have more than I have ever managed to grow of billy buttons, which is good. I love billy buttons. And the next one is Achillea, which again, I've sown both of those before. They are fantastic. Snapdragons, some cosmos. Interestingly, this row of cosmos across here is the apricotta, which is beautiful colour, and not a single one of them has germinated, whereas these are much older seeds, and I think every one I've sown has come up. So, but they're for the main garden, so not really for drying. Amnimagus. In this tray here we have Amobium, or everlasting, some people call it, sandflower, and it is a daisy-like flower, white petals, yellow head. Should be great for drying, dainty, but you know, keeps its look without losing its form, or it stays similar to how it is fresh dried. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that looks like. It is of the family of the strawflower, which I have got a whole load for, so I have high hopes that that will be lovely going forward. In this tray we've got some China Aster, which I've got one in the end, and some Scabiosa, again both for the main garden. And here we have some Helictrium, which I have, the mixed one, which I've got here, is new this year. And again, these are like daisy-like flowers. Again, I think they're kind of from the strawflower family, and so again should be perfect for drying. These are Piro. I have grown these before. They didn't grow for me last year, but I have grown, and they are wonderful dried. They have a white daisy-like flower with a black centre, like a Piro doll. And they really are lovely in dried flower work. Next one's along, larkspur. So much larkspur. I have never had such a good crop of larkspur. And I'm saying that with fingers crossed, because last year when I did have some larkspur, a slug demolished them overnight. So we're not out of the woods yet, but I have high hopes. And they are good for drying, I'm told. But as I say, I've never had good success with growing larkspur. Amaranthus, grown before, so nothing new here. Although I have hot biscuits growing in this section, which hasn't taken before. So I'm hopeful that that will dry nice and red. Last year I had the coral and the green, and when they both dried green, even though one was not green when it went in. They both were the same when they came out of the drying process. So I'm hoping hot biscuits will keep its red colour better, and the coral, well, if it dries green, that's great. If it dries coral or the peachy colour that it is, then that's also great. So I haven't planted any green ones. In this final row here, only a few plants, but they I have another new sowing for this year, which is, and I don't know quite how to say that, Xeranthium annum or immortal. And this is, I can't remember what this plant is like. I'm guessing it's going to be another straw flower like plant and daisy like, but I can't quite remember. But again, ideal for drying, I'm led to believe, so I thought I'd give those a go. And this section here are new sowings. So we have some pennycress. It's cress, so you'd think it would be easy to grow. This is the second sowing of this and still nothing. I've sown it outside, there's nothing outside. I am wondering whether there is a problem with the seeds, because it should just work. This is orach, which is just a new sowing again. Nothing yet, and I would have expected that to germinate, although I have heard that it is better to direct sow, so I might sow that in the bed that I want it to go, see how successful that is. It is a really tall, but they are beautiful colours, tall, and is supposed to dry really well. This is a perennial foxglove for the main garden, some more zinnias, gypsophilia here, because I really was lacking sort of airy flowers. So I had a lot of statice last year, which is quite solid, and I just needed something a bit more airy to create things with. So that, I thought I'd grow that for gypsophilia for drying, and that is some Greek cress. Again, not much success, although there are some self-sown outside, so I'm not too concerned about that. These are salvias, and again, they're for the main garden to put near roses to hopefully prevent black spot on my roses. Apparently they have properties that help keep black spot and other viruses at bay. I have a new type of Nicotiana called Tinkerbell, and that one, they're tiny at the moment. I think I need to be putting these on really. There's lots of seedlings. Nicotiana stay tiny for quite a while, then all of a sudden become massive plants. So again, they may be for the main garden rather than drying. Don't think they'll dry particularly well. This is some poppy, opium poppy, and again I might put that on because they're looking as if they could move on. So that is it. On a side note, all of these seeds, or mainly all of these seeds, have been planted following the moon gardening approach. So they were planted on the perfect day according to the lunar cycle, and actually they have done really well. So I'm not saying for definite that that's proof that this lunar gardening lark works, but they are the healthiest I've ever had seedlings. I have tried a different seed mix. I have tried a different way of getting them germinated in the first place. So it's not completely scientific as to why they are so good this year. But I am just reveling in their success at the moment, on the whole. As I say, some need potting up and some need reseeding a few more where there's been a few failures, but on the whole we're doing well. So that is it. The 2025 season is a go. Some of these are hardy annuals that have been growing for quite a while, so I will start hardening them off outside over the course of this week and try and plant some out to make room so for the dahlias that are just about to come. Maybe the tender annuals, once they come, I might still plant them out but protect them for a while. So again, it clears some space and we can move the season on. But at the moment, I'm really pleased with what I've got. I'm not a big grower, but I have hopefully got a lot of variety that will make interesting dried flowers arrangements later on in the year. Fingers crossed. Anyway, that's my seed haul for this year. Let me know in the comments below what seeds you're growing new this year, what you're trying, and how successful it's been. Hopefully your seed sowing is doing well this year as well. And until next time, happy gardening!